Hello everybody. Welcome to the channel if you're new, and welcome back if you're already a subscriber. Today we are going to be doing some Hobonichi with me pages in my Hobonichi 5-year. It seems that you guys like them, and I definitely want to do what you guys like, and if it helps me be consistent with my Hobonichi 5-year, I am here for all of that. So what we're going to be covering in this video is Imbolc. It is a Sabbat that follows the winter solstice, and it's in between Yule and Austera, and it is basically in between winter solstice and spring solstice. That's just the best way to kind of like put it all into perspective. And it is exactly in the middle, which is really cool. And if you've been watching some of my other videos recently, then you would know that I finally cracked the code on my obsession with Valentine's Day. Has jack shit apparently to do with love. Jack shit. It has everything to do with the promise of spring. And I kind of started to make this revelation last year where I just started thinking more inwardly, like, I've never cared about giving. I do love to give a good gift. So I do love gift giving at Valentine's, and I did make Jeff a little goodie bag. But most of the time, I don't really care about that. I don't even really care about the day of. I just like that everything is hearts and pinks and flowers, and I just want to bask in that for as long as possible. And I kept thinking, God, that's kind of weird whenever I figured it out last year. And then this year when I was researching about Imbolc, I was like, holy moly, it's because it's the promise of spring. Bitch is a witch. Okay, like, shock and awe, like we didn't know that, but my witchy side is like coming out. Like, she is I think on the podcast I've been listening to, which is Awesome on 20, and if you don't listen to it, start. It's freaking hilarious. It's great. If you like cooking, if you like eating, if you like pop culture, if you like talking about crystals and witchy shit, it's all great for you. As someone who is a bebe in like unleashing all of this that's been in her witchdom, those are a lot of made up words probably in there because I don't think witchdom is a word. But basically, as someone that is becoming aware of her witchy side and letting it go, like, I am full on Elsa, that bitch is out the broom closet, is the way that they put it, is you come out of the broom closet, which I think is super cute. But anyways, there was a point to that. I do not 100% recall it. I think it was just the broom closet part. But how I found the podcast was I found the website awesomeon20.com because I was researching recipes for Imbolc. Even though there were a couple recipes in my workbook from ritualplanner.com, which I did the unboxing of a couple weeks ago, I needed more ideas because I was struggling, and it was just like a couple dishes, and Imbolc basically starts on the night of February the 1st, so that's dinner, and it goes until dusk on the 2nd. So breakfast, snacks, lunch on the 2nd. I was remote on the 1st, but I was not remote on the 2nd. So I kind of had to make sure that whatever I was going to make, I made on the 1st, or I could just kind of take with me on the 2nd. So I was researching recipes, and if you have, like I said, if you haven't checked out her website, it's great for just all kinds of things. Even if you're not a witchy person, there's a lot of recipes, and they're absolutely fantastic. But I took a lot of notes between the website and my workbook, and I even listened to the episode of the podcast that they have about Imbolc, which reminds me about Lupercalia. So we'll get to that a different day because that's a different Hobonichi plan with me situation going on. Anyways, it gave me a lot of inspiration, which was great. And I made a really big list, and then I had a very busy work day. In the past, my remote days have always kind of been really low-key and allowed me to kind of be super flexible with my day and do a little bit more personal stuff. This was not one of those days, and I really couldn't even tell you the last time I had one of those days. So I had a big master list, and I just decided to get done what I could. So I decided to dust the bedroom, specifically the fan and the blinds and things that I don't necessarily do on a monthly basis. I also decided to change my sheets and clean those, which was really nice. part of Imbolc is also opening all the windows and the doors just to let that fresh air in. And it was lovely. It was actually a really pleasant day. And I was smart enough to use my Flonase and take some oil of oregano. And that definitely helped out tremendously. That and just dusting. I was just itching to upset all my sinuses, I guess. But it was really nice. I even opened the door to the patio, despite my terror that my cat's always going to run out and then run away from me, which I don't think would ever happen. But she only wants to go out there, apparently, if Jeff or I is there. Could not give any less fucks when I opened the door and didn't go out there. She just sat there and looked at me like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Super weird. You're going to see her hop on the counter a ton of times and sit and hang out with us. There was nothing I could do about it. I took her down several times and it was just all for naught. Another thing is lighting a candle in every room. I do not have, admittedly, I don't have all of my notes in front of me, but if I find it, I will definitely let you know. I've got my little like notebook and thing my little workbook that came with the ritual planner kit. So hopefully I can maybe like do that. Yeah, I don't think there's anything in there. I don't remember where I read that. It might have been on the Awesome on 20. I digress. But lighting a candle in every room, like even if it's just you light the candle and then you like stuff it out and move to the next room, that's a thing. But I chose to like light the candle and leave it going in the bedroom while I cleaned. And then when I kind of reached a point where I had to quit in the bedroom, I like snuffed it out and then I moved it, as I cooked, and then Jeff and I took a bubble bath, and then I did a tarot reading, which obviously is the quickening spread that you see that I did all wrong, mind you. I was looking at a different layout. I was looking at the Imbolc spread, and I only pulled 5 cards, and I was supposed to pull like 7, but per usual, the cards never lie. And they were still right on point for the prompts that I was reading. It was hilarious. I could not have planned that better. I did make a rigatoni pasta bake. So main thing to keep in mind with Imbolc, it's all about Brigid or Brie. You can say it a whole bunch of ways. Brigid is how it looked, but that's not the way you're supposed to pronounce it. She was renamed Saint Brigid by the Christianity. By the Christianity. Wow, that's a big tongue twister. By the Christians, Irish nuns, babies, midwives, dairy maids, and animals all kind of surround Brigid or Bridget, however you want to say it. She is a patron saint now. But basically, all things are milk, fire, home, infants, buckets of cheese. Was the takeaway here. So I did get cheese. Blackberries are very sacred to her and carry fertility vibes, basically, and a lot of people put them on their altars along with cheese and milk. So a lot of that was hanging out. Basil means new life and money. So that was right up that alley. Also, onions go for fertility. Rosemary. Oh, we haven't gotten to rosemary yet. Sorry, I'm looking. Garlic is fire, which that was a twofold activity, which obviously you're seeing rosemary, garlic, focaccia on the page now. So I did end up baking, and baking is a thing, like baking bread and like putting your hands in it. And I haven't made bread since I was a kid. So I decided to take the easy road and do a rosemary focaccia, which turned out not to be easy because it almost got stuck in the toaster oven at work. Note to self, kids, do not bake focaccia in a toaster oven in a pan that is too small for said bread. It was very interesting. It actually turned out really good. It was just very clunky. Rosemary is energy. Oh, rosemary is passion. And is energy of the sun and sacred to Bridget as well. It's a good way to connect to the spirit. So that was all a thing. Now you see me talking about spicy chicken tortilla soup. I'm going to pause and go backwards and just finish out what happened on the first, which was lighting a candle. Jeff and I took a lavender chamomile bath, which lavender and chamomile are also associated with the celebration. Fire like I said before, is a big deal. So I actually made s'mores because I have this cute little like tabletop fire pit. It's so little. It's like, it's about as big as like a Bath and Body Works 3-wick candle type of situation. It's skinnier and taller, but same footprint basically. And that thing is freaking awesome. I love it. That was one of the best December purchases that I made for myself. And then I did a tarot spread. Jeff and I had a really relaxed evening. And it was good. I was happy with what I got done and the energy that I created in my home. I wish I had had more time, but it just did not work out that way. On the 2nd, I baked bread and had to work. So that was really it. Nothing fun really got done. On the 3rd, I actually had the day off, which is the day that I'm doing on screen now. And I did the chicken tortilla soup. But spicy is also associated, like fire and spice. So I did want to kind of bump up the spice in that soup just a little bit more. So I added a serrano pepper. It's in between a jalapeno and a habanero because Jeff was like, do not put a habanero in there. You will die. I do like spicy food, but I did heat his warning. Is that right? That I heeded the warning? I think that's right. Heed my warning. I'm trying to like think of the context that I hear it in all the time. But yes, I decided to listen to him more over than anything. And I went for a lighter. Oh, I'm so sorry it got blurry. It's probably because I picked up inks, I'm guessing, because I looked away from the screen for 1 second. But I decided to make it a little bit spicier. So good. And then Jeff and I went to 1910, which is a local restaurant, and had a dinner date. We had like a voucher, and I am really close with the staff there. My office used to do events pre-COVID over there, and I'm still just really close to them. Actually, Jeff and I were supposed to have our first date there, and we didn't. We ended up having it at his house, which was funny enough. Keep in mind, I had known Jeff since I was 18 years old, and this was now like a million years later, so it wasn't like we were breaking any weird rules, but we went over there and we kind of had like a dud. It was like supposed to be like a surprise gift, and it was like a complete dud, and the owner got really mad, and she was like, no, I am just gonna take $20 off. You guys get like an appetizer that you want. I was like, okay, I'm cool with that. So we had a good, nice little date night. So I drew the peppers and just slapped down a really cute Coffee Monster Co. date night sticker because I don't use them near enough. Even though we do go out from time to time, I'm really quirky about what I define as a date night and what I don't. Like, I do not define a date night as we have to go get food, so we're going out. Now it's like, I feel like there needs to be intention behind it, not just like, I don't know. Maybe I'm weird. Let me know what your thoughts are. I just feel like, to me, a date night is something that you plan, you have intention for, you set time aside to make sure that like you get ready and you're pretty and you're presentable and you're intentionally spending time with your partner knowing that it's special. Like I guess you can make any dinner special, whether it's at home or out. I don't know. Maybe I'm not making sense. You let me know. The last page that we're doing is this one, which is Sunday night. Sunday, February the 5th was a full moon in Leo, and it was really cool because it basically was just like nothing was in retrograde, nothing was weird, and it was like a really good time to just like close out the cycle and like say, okay, what do I want, moving forward? What do I want for spring? What intentions do I want to put out? And I was super excited about this. So I lit my Imbolc candle because I still had it, and did my tarot spread, and I had a carafe full of water to set outside. I do moon water. I love doing it. I probably could have done a spread for the 6th in here, but I didn't. But yes, I did an entire carafe so that I could do, I think I got to drink 16 ounces of it normal. I did a cup of coffee with it, and then I also did a cup of tea with it that evening. Again, I really could have gone all the way through to the 6th. I didn't even think about that while I was doodling all these things. And I got to use my Muse deck, and I love that deck. It's so pretty, and it's so feminine, and I have 2 tarot decks, and that's my Muse one, and then I have my really pretty, it's like an antique anatomy tarot deck, and dependent on the spread or what I'm trying to accomplish, and sometimes even if I don't know, I'll just kind of see whichever one I'm drawn to. I'm never surprised. That's a lie. I'm always surprised, despite the fact that I should know by now that the decks never lie. They will choose you. And your cards will be perfect. They're always on point. Like I've never had a spread where I'm like, what the actual F is going on? At least not yet. I'm not saying that that's not going to happen. And I did hear in the podcast where that can happen if maybe you haven't cleansed your deck in a while and you need to kind of like just center yourself with it again. Anywho, so Sunday was really chill. I worked on my one little word prompts as well that day for January, so super delayed there. But it was really cool. Jeff and I did some nature walks, and it was just a really low-key couple days of just like appreciating that one season is coming to an end and a new one is on the horizon, and that felt really nice. But overall, I hope you guys enjoyed these couple pages with me. I think I'm going to do one kind of for Valentine's Day and maybe sneak Lupercalia in there. We didn't really do anything. We did do a little bit for Valentine's, but Jeff wasn't feeling well. He had COVID. For all of that. So it'll probably be some really simple spreads, but I think I can do that for you guys. But I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I look forward to the next video. Bye.